So guys, do you remember when I bought the zero turn and I had it for just about exactly 2 hours before I crashed it the first time? Well, you know, that seems to be the story of my life. So I ran this 0.2 of hours. And what did I do? Well, I put fuel from the newly installed fuel tank into this RTV, and there must have been some sort of sediment, and maybe sediment and water that was in that 300-gallon tank, and this went out. And I was so frustrated and so scared, frankly, to take this on that I didn't do a video while I was doing it, because I just didn't know how it would come out, and frankly I needed to concentrate on doing the job and not on the video. So I'm just going to run you through it real quick. So the hardest part, frankly, in all honesty, of doing this is this. See this big plastic shield? This big plastic shield is the pan for the rear seat, and you have to remove it. But in order to remove it, you have to remove the seats. This is the backrest of the back seat. Here's, of course, the back seat. And then this is the floorboard that goes here. All of that has to come out. And that little piece of plastic is a pain, because there are, I don't know how many bolts, a bunch, because there are bolts that go here to hold the back of the seat. Those go there, and then there are these bolts here which hold on the seat, the bottom of the seat. And then there are screws all through here to hold the floor pan on. And then there are probably 30 of the little, those darn little things you hate so much, these things, right? Because they always want to break when you're pulling them out. There's like 30 of those. Then I had to get to the actual job. Okay, the actual job was to remove this. That's the fuel tank. In order to, before I got to that, you also have to drop this fender, because there's a strap that goes on the fuel tank right here, this strap here. It sits over the top of the fuel tank like this. It just clips in on this side, and then it screws on this side, but it's so tight against the fender that you can't get to the bolt unless you drop that fender. So you have to do that. So the tank underneath, of course, you have the filter right there, and then up above the filter is a little distributor. Think of the Lux capacitor from Back to the Future. And one of those fuels goes, of course, to the fuel pump, which is right here. And it has a little lever on it next to its side there, and that lever is how you manually pump it in order to bleed the fuel system again. So there's the purple line that's down there. Hopefully you can see it. That goes, of course, to the tank. Not to the tank, but to that distributor. Because there's obviously a hose that goes from the bottom of the tank down into the filter, right? And then, of course, once the gas is filtered, it comes up and it hits that blue fuel line. I'm sorry, purple, and goes up to the fuel pump, and then that sends it up into this, which is body which takes fuel, and then has these lines that go up to the head of the injector, and then you have a fuel line here which goes and runs, and there's like it's a little circumference around the end of the fuel injector. So and then there's another fuel line that comes out of here and comes and goes back into the thing. That must be some sort of overflow. I'm not that educated on it. What I am is I can just simply follow logic, right? It's already existing. And I know that all of those components obviously were contaminated, including the injectors. So I had to take all of that out, take out the injectors, clean all of that out, everything of that material, which seemed to be a consistency of water and maybe really light rust, because there was a sediment profile too. It wasn't just water. There was some bit of sediment in that material as well. So I'm thinking that I was told by another guy who actually works on these engines, and he was the one who was going to come do it, but he couldn't, unfortunately, help me out. So sometimes you just have to do it yourself. And so anyway, I cleaned all that up, made it all nice. Obviously, nothing's buttoned up yet. But when I came over here and I turned the ignition key on, smooth like butter, although awful lot noisy, isn't it? And it really was just taking it and being methodical and just simply slowly going through it. So it took me about a day and a half, solid day and a half. Solid day yesterday, and right now it's probably around noon. So solid day and a half, but oh my God. All right, guys, that's cool. That's excitement. So hopefully I will not do something like that again. Now, I still got the issue with the fuel tank, because I now have 100 gallons of fuel in this 300-gallon tank, which is obviously contaminated. And of course I have a filter on it, this goldenrod filter. Yeah, there it is. That's it. That's that sediment. So there's still a little bit in there. Okay, so that's the sediment there. And yeah, that's the first thing it told me. So I probably should have been smarter and not turned the Kubota on, or tried to start it. It made it from the fuel tank to there, where it conked out on me. I did pull it up a little bit. You can see the strap on the back of it, but not very much, just a few feet, just to make it a little bit more level. Anyway, boy, whew, I'm telling you, that was a scary day and a half. I mean, you drop the kind of money it takes to buy these things and then have it not working. And of course, it wasn't warranty work, right? It was something that was here, that technically I caused, right? So it wasn't warranty work. Now, God knows I probably voided the warranty because I cracked open the, I didn't actually crack open the cylinder head, but I took out the ejectors. Since I've done any work on it, I'm sure the legal beagles will have it so that I have, taken my warranty. But you know what? With a Kubota, the truth of the matter is that it would have been $2,000 to have fixed this, and I will have less than $2,000 worth of warranty work probably over the whole life of the RTV, and that's probably the truth, because Kubotas are pretty much bulletproof. So great, fantastic. Woo! All right, guys. I'm jazzed. All right. Thank you very much. Hey, comment. Seriously, if you had something like this, in this type of vehicle or another type of vehicle, if you know anything about those, the injectors on the diesel, it'd be interesting to hear. I didn't really have to have that knowledge to just clean stuff up, but it'd be great to know that. So if you have some input, it'd be awesome to shoot me something. All right, guys. Thanks. Bye.